Hey guys, welcome to the first ever video of Dadbod Digidestined. So, idea of this channel, simply for people who couldn't get hold of much product, simply because it's been slowed down back into the start of February, I believe, halfway through February, or during the pre-sale when people couldn't get hold of much anyway because stock was so limited. I myself was only able to get 2 boxes and 1 red deck, so everything will be coming from there, so it's not going to be 3 or 4 Omnimon per deck or Lilithmon and Beelzemon filled purple decks, unfortunately. So today we're going to be going through my green deck list simply because it's really quite cheap to build because there's not many big, expensive, hard-hitting cards, and it's just very simple, quick, and very competitive. Anyway guys, thank you for joining me for my first ever video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, smash that button so you know when my videos go live, and I hope you enjoy the deck list. Let's get into it. Okay guys, let's see if we can get any focus here. So we're looking at the eggs first of all, obviously. We're looking at 2 Tanimon. When attacking, if you're Digivolved this turn, this Digimon gains 1000 DP for the turn. Obviously this doesn't count if you've been Digivolved in the raising area. You have to bring it out onto the field and then Digivolve that turn. And obviously then you get the effective plus 1000, very good. Then we run 3 Mon, I think they're called for now. We're really looking for the Tanimon. This is just there to make up the 5 because obviously I haven't got hold of that many of them, so running what we can. So when your opponent has 2 or more suspended Digimon in play, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. Doesn't happen as often as you might hope, but when it does, geez, that's a lot of power. Okie dokie. So starting off with the level 3s. So for this deck, we are going to run a ton of 3s because we've got a lot of them, and green 3s. Awesome. So we're looking at obviously 4 Goblinmon, very cheap to play, very cheap to evolve. So we're looking for a 2 cost. We've got 4 of them. Then we're going to go through the Agumons, 4 of them. So where Goblinmon was vanilla, obviously Agumon is inheritable. This Digimon gets 1000, whatever the Digimon. So it's fantastic. There's no other necessary thing to need to be active for him to get the 1000. Just as long as it's in the stack, you get 1000. Right, so then we've got 4 Tentomon. Very, very fun inheritable effect of when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon that has 3000 or less DP. That's absolutely hilariously fun when you build a big stack, including it, and then you're just suspending things at will. So we then run with 4 Mushroomon, another vanilla, 2 cost to play, 1 cost to Digivolve, 4000 level 3 vanilla. Very, very fun. And that concludes level 3s. So we play 4, 8, 12, 16 rookies. Okie dokie. We're going to move on to the champion levels, or the level 4s, as you want to call them. So we are going to start off with 4 Kabutorimon. Inheritable effect. This Digimon gets 1000 DP for every suspended Digimon your opponent has. When it starts stacking up, kind of late game, they've got 1 or 2 when they just attack, so they've got 3 or 4. Hopefully you don't want them to have 3 or 4 Digimon in play ever, but it's a nice big build if you do. Okie dokie. Then we've got obviously the 4 main blockers of the deck. Green's an interesting one because I was actually able to get blockers for green because they came in the pack, not the decks. So things like blue and yellow and red, the blockers were harder to get because you had to be lucky enough to get one of the decks in the pre-sale. So with green, go with 4 blockers in Woodmon, 5 cost to play, 2 to evolve, 6000 DP, standard blocker, when attacking, lose 2 memory. Very, very standard, very, very fun. Then we go with 4 Vegemon, 1 cost to play, so cheap, 4 cost to play, 1 cost to evolve, level 4, 6000 DP. I don't know how this card is even allowed. one cost to Digivolve is literally first turn you open Tanimon into any rookie for free, and then you go bump Vegemon. If you got Agumon into Vegemon, you've got 1 cost, it's your opponent's turn, you've drawn 2 cards out of 2 Digivolutions, and you've got a 7000 beta. What? Just what? Okie dokie. And that concludes level 5s. We are running 12. Sorry, that concludes level 4s. We are running 12 level 4s, as you can probably do the maths on that one yourselves. So guys, moving on to level 5s, we're going to start off with 1, 2, 3, Akuamon, I believe is called. Pretty standard. I would change the ratios if I had more cards to put different level 5s in, but he's absolutely fantastic. If you can get him in the stack of something else that's coming up in a bit later on, I'll explain to you how awesome he is. But it's a 7 cost to play, 2 cost to evolve, 6000 DP. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, gain a memory. Pretty awesome, especially if you can get under things like Puppetmon. I know you want to play Puppetmon, but if you can Digivolve him on top of this, and you play Puppetmon's effect as well, because you gain a memory when you attack. If you can delete something, you'll gain 2 memory, and you'll gain board presence over your opponent, and you get memory so you can extend your own turn. Absolutely fantastic card. Okie dokie. So we run 4 of those. Moving on to the other level 5s, we're looking for Lilymon. Fantastic level 5 card. Very standard, very similar. Level 5, we are looking at a 7 cost play, 2 cost to Digivolve, 6000, exactly the same as Akuamon. But Lilymon's inheritable effect, when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon that hasn't got blocker. So this is pretty awesome. Obviously, you can also combo this with other things later on in the game as well. I like it, but I prefer Akuamon. Okie dokie. Obviously, Lilymon is handy if you want to, literally, if you've got a problem child. If they've got a problem child on their side of the board and you don't know how to run over, it because they never leave it suspended. Especially things like black as well. So if they've got a card that is running you over and then rebooting every single time because of Toy Agumon, you can suspend it and then run through it with, who knows, Titamon, anything else in your deck that's huge. So I'm going to finish off the level 5s with 2 Cherrymon. I absolutely love this as an idea of a card, a blocker that doesn't lose you memory when you attack. He's just a standard blocker. However, he's level 5, he's 7000 DP, and he's only 2 cost to Digivolve. This, for me, makes an absolute brilliant offensive and defensive at the same time. So I'll Digivolve into him quite often, just because if you've got a blocker inside the field that's got 7k, and you know you're not going to lose memory even if you do attack with him ever, it's very, very powerful. Gives you more options as well with your blockers, rather than just hoping to need them to defend. You can actually attack with your blockers. Okie dokie, so moving on to level 6s. I'm going to be playing some wacky ratios because level 6s are generally harder to get hold of. So we're going to go with 3 Puppetmon. Why not? One of the best cards in green at the moment. Just on play. Suspend when your opponent's Digimon during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. None of your opponent's Digimon can unsuspend. What? This card wins games. It just does. If I had 4, I'd play 4, but I've only got 3. And then on top of that, when attacking, gain a memory. Whether it survives, whether it dies, whether it runs through security, whether the security check kills it, you gain a memory, you suspend, you continue your turn. Get this on top of an Akuamon if you don't want to use its actual main effect, which everyone uses it for, and you'll gain 2 memory when you destroy something. We play 3. Then we're going to run into 1 Rust Tyrannomon. So we're looking at 11,000, 13 cost to play, 14 cost to Digivolve, 2 effects. When you have a green tamer in play, this Digimon can attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Your turn. When this Digimon deletes one of your opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So, when it does manage to run through something, let's be honest, if you've got a green tamer in play, it can run through anything on your opponent's side of the field. If they try and block it, it will destroy the blocker. There is no blocker in the game yet. Well, there is, obviously, in black, but who knows? You've got a Toy Agumon underneath this, it's very dangerous. But yeah, so if you run through something and if you've got a green tamer in play, you run through anything on their side of the board, destroys it, suspends something else, gives one of your other targets, one of your other Digimon, a target to attack into, rather than just going for stack. Okie dokie. We then run 2 Titamon, 2 cost Digivolve, 12,000 DP, 10 cost to play. Even if you draw this on your first turn, it is not a brick, because you can just drop it. Obviously, you don't really particularly want to give them 10 on their opening turn, but it's an option, and it's not an 11 or a 12 or a 13, it's a 10. Very important. And only 2 cost Digivolve. 2 for 12,000 DP. Mental. Okie dokie. To round off the deck, we're going to go into the options and the tamers. So, tamers we're going to play include 1, 2, 3 Flower Cannon, because that's all I've got. I would use more. If I had a 4th, I would use it. So obviously, 2 costs to play, which is so cheap for such a powerful effect. Main, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. What? So, let me get this right. They put a blocker out to try and save their lives. 2. Block. Just literally just 2. Suspend it. Go through anyway. It's just crazy. And then obviously what everyone loves to see is when it's in the stack and it's suspend all of your opponent's Digimon without blocker. Fantastic. This card saves you games. in this blink of an eye. If they've got 2 or 3 attacks, you've only got 1 or 2 security, you're about to lose, you roll over a flower cannon, everyone knows what's in there. Fantastic card. Okie dokie, then we're going to run into 2 Mimis. I like having 2, I don't want to have 4, I don't want to have 3, I see it too often. I like seeing 2, but I like seeing 2, I like running 2 because I like only seeing 1 or 2 a game max. Especially I love seeing this in stack when I get its effect for free. So obviously it's a reset at 3 on my turn regardless whether I'm less than that or not. And then if you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you can suspend this tamer to hatch 1 Digi-Egg card from your empty space in your breeding area. Or move 1 level 3 or higher Digimon from your breeding area to your battle area. This makes the deck so fast. If you thought it was fast with the cheap evolution costs and the cheap play costs, you wait till you get one of these in play and you can get 2 eggs out of turn. It's absolutely fantastic. So one of my favourite things to do with this card is to take advantage of this card's speed effect, and the advantage that this deck runs with so many level 3s is I will not use this effect until I have a level 3 in my raising area. So I'll start my turn, I'll flip over an egg, I'll put it straight into level 3, tap Mimi, summon it. Next turn, another egg, another level 3, tap Mimi, summon it. If I can do that, as well as play a card from my hand, my board presence will increase exponentially every single turn. This is a fantastic card. Okay, then we've got 1 Terror's Cluster. I don't like seeing it any more than once a game, if that. In your security activates card's main effect, it's a 7 cost. Return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of their deck. So annoyingly, I like this card, and I don't like this card at the same time because it can turn into a bit of a brick in your hand at 7 cost. But it depends if they're attacking and then finding a way to unsuspend, like Omnimon unsuspends himself, and things like that can be very clever. So you have to really wait for the right moment to drop it. And at a 7 cost, it can be quite expensive and give them an opportunity, especially if they've only given you 1 and you're throwing 6 down. They can do a lot with 6 memory. Other than that, I do like the card. Okie dokie. And then we run 1 Izzy for several reasons. 1, he's very cheap, 2 cost to play. And his effect, if you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you can suspend this tamer to reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a Digimon card, add it to your hand, otherwise place it to the bottom of your deck. This deck runs 43 Digimon cards. Only 7 cards in here, including himself, aren't Digimon. His effect will come off about 85 to 90% of the time, and it's brilliant. So not only if you get this card in play and Mimi, you're speeding up how quickly you can Digivolve from the raising area, you're also drawing 2 cards a turn almost. It's absolutely phenomenal, this card. Anyway, guys, that is it for the green deck list. I hope you enjoyed it. Also, if you want an idea of just how budget these decks are on building, it's so the deck itself has cases. The eggs do not yet. I do not have cases for my eggs. I have no idea what to do with them. Everything else has been literally packed to sleeve, apart from the eggs, because I don't know what colour to put them in, because I just haven't really found time or effort to buy cases for my eggs yet. Also, I do want to say this isn't a finished green build. I would ideally, in an ideal world, obviously, as we all know, would like to change up a few of the ratios there of different cards. But as I said at the start, this is for people who couldn't get hold of a ton of different cards and loads of product that they'd like to have. But I hope you enjoyed it. And as I said at the start, if you have any questions, comment. And if you'd like to see more videos from me, please subscribe and smack that bell so you know that when my videos are going live and you can see them ASAP. I'll have so many more deck lists coming. And other more content, and at the end of the month, hopefully, well, not the end of the month, 12th of January, I think, 12th of February, I think it is when the new release date is. I do have another box coming, so I'll be able to do a box opening and some deck box opening as well. So yeah, lots to come, guys. See you soon.